evening and welcome to my mixed ability yoga class. So today we're going to be using 2 blocks, right? And we're going to be performing 5 poses, 5 yoga poses. Today it's all about back bending. So all 4 poses will be focusing on bending the spine backwards. So great to strengthen the back, great to broaden the shoulders and the chest, and also great to engage the core. Right, so today it's a mixed ability class, which means that for each of those 5 poses, we'll be doing an easier version and a harder version, right? Let's begin. Pose number 1, upward facing plank. So, for the first pose, you're going to place the blocks at the rear of the mat. Shoulder width apart. Then you're going to be sitting in front of the blocks with your legs straight in front of you. Make sure your legs are parallel and your feet are parallel. Now place your hands on nice and flat on top of the blocks with your fingers pointing forward and your fingers spread apart. Yeah, very important. Okay, so because the upward facing dog is also a back bend, right? You need to make sure that your back is fully engaged and your core is also working. All right, so in a moment we're going to be pushing the hips up, right? And pressing the heels down and the balls of your feet down and the toes down. So make sure the 4 corners of your feet are actually fully connected with the mat when you lift up. Why? Because your feet and your hands will give you the power to lift the body away from the floor. All right, we'll do 2 sets and each time we'll hold the pose for 5 breaths. Okay, set number 1, let's hold the pose for 5 breaths. Let's go. 1 straight line from shoulders all the way down to the toes. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. And slowly, gently release back down and relax. So in a moment, we'll do this again. Notice how, although from the side the body looks like a straight line, it is very much a back bend because the lower back is working, and actually the middle back and the upper back, all parts of the back are working. Yeah? All right, let's go for set number 2, 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. And lower down. Excellent. Good. So as I mentioned before, each pose will be challenging you in different ways. So you'll find that when the blocks are actually supporting the hands, the pose is easier, right? When the blocks are elevating the feet, the pose becomes harder. So, when it becomes harder, we just do 1 set of 5 breaths. So from here, make sure your blocks are hip width apart. Lovely, okay. Initially, just rest your heels on the edge of the blocks, right? Hands behind you, so hands are shoulder width apart, okay? And as you start lifting the body up towards ceiling, you want to flatten your feet on the block as much as possible, right? And use that surface, the surface on top of the block, to push down, right? To lift the body high. Off we go. 5 long deep breaths, starting now. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 1. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 2. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 3. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 4. 1 more. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 5. And lower down. Whew. Okay. Very challenging, isn't it? Alright, give yourself a little rest, because now we're moving on to pose number 2. Pose number 2. Whew. So backbending is very challenging. It's a very emotional pose because it requires you to, first of all, let go, but also to open up. Yeah? Alright, so this time we're going to place the blocks back towards the rear of the mat. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to start onto all fours to begin with. Then I'm going to place the tops of my feet. Actually, no. I'm going to tuck my toes under. So tuck your toes under on the right side and tuck your toes under on the left side. Yeah. Hands shoulder width apart. So as wide as the width of the mat. And then from here, I'm going to extend my legs, readjust the pose, and then because your feet are higher, just allow your hips to drop, right? While lifting the chest as high as you can. 5 breaths here. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 1. Keep your legs straight, keep pushing your hips forward and down. Inhale, exhale, 2. Shoulders down, chest up. Inhale, exhale, 3. Inhale, exhale, 4. Inhale, exhale, 5. And lower down. Place your knees back down and rest. Very intense, but very energizing. Good. We'll do a second set. Okay? Right. All fours. This time, if you want to try pressing the tops of your feet onto the block on either side, you can. Okay? Alright. Set number 2, legs straight. Just allow your hips to drop, but don't sink your chest. 5 breaths starting now. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 1. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 2. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 3. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 4. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 5. And lower down. Good. The way I do it, each time I exhale, I try to squeeze my back a bit more and arch a bit more. Right? So by the 5th breath, I know I've gone as far into the pose as I possibly could. Okay? Good. So now, let's move the blocks forward. So when we move the blocks forward, the pose becomes different and a little bit more challenging. Right? So just be prepared. Here, at the front, it will require a lot more strength in the upper body. Okay, so now place your hands nice and flat on the blocks. Extend your legs backwards. Initially, tuck your toes under, right? And then just drop your hips and arch back. 5 breaths now. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 1. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 2. Readjust if need be. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 3. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 4. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 5. And lower your knees down and sit yourself down. So when I do back bends, I prefer to wait until the end of the practice before stretching my back. Because if I was to stretch my back in between each back bends, then it would actually, to me, be counterproductive. I prefer to do the work initially and get a reward at the end, instead of having a reward after each pose. Okay? So let's try a second set, because now I want to show you with pointing the toes backwards as opposed to tucking the toes under. Right? So, hands flat. This time, point your toes backwards, drop your hips, right, and arch back. 5 breaths. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 1. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 2. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 3. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 4. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 5. And lower down. Oh, that felt amazing. I felt my body getting deeper and deeper into the pose together with the breath. And while I'm talking, sometimes it's difficult, but I always manage. Okay, cool. Well done. Now we're going to go into Crescent movement. So I'm going to turn towards the back, and I'm going to place my right foot on the block. Okay? Now make sure your left knee is hip width apart with your right knee or your right foot. Why? Because if you're too narrow, you will lose your balance. You want to make sure that the body remains stable while arching backwards. Okay? Initially, we're going to keep the toes tucked under. Alright. So now, I'm going to be gradually, right, and please feel free to join me, I'm going to be gradually pushing my hips forward and leaning back, reaching back and down towards my heel, like so, right? And when I get my heel, then I can push my hips further forward. I'm going to stretch my arm up and back. And the pose starts now. 5 breaths. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 1. Keep pushing your hips forward. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 2. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 3. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 4. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 5. Gradually lift the right arm up, stretch it forward, gaze forward, and then come back to center. And give yourself a 10-second break. Good, that went well. Let's do it again for another 5 breaths. Okay, so place your right foot on the block once again. Make sure it's nice and flat. Spread your toes nice and wide. Knee on the left side and on the right side. Hip width apart, so not too narrow. Yeah. Tuck your toes under, left foot. Okay. Now start pushing your hips forward, leaning backwards. Add a little bit of a twist. Reach down towards your heel. Now that you feel safe, then arch back a bit more using your right arm. 5 breaths here. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 1. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 2. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 3. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 4. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 5. And then slowly stretch the arm forward first, and then come back. Good. So very important when you reach the arm forward to follow the arm with your gaze, because then the arm becomes like an anchor, and as you come out of the pose, it keeps you safe, and it prevents you from losing your balance. So let's do the other side. This time, the block goes onto the left-hand corner of the front of the mat. Okay. Place your left foot on the block. Tuck your toes under on the right-hand side. Make sure your knees are hip width apart. Now start pushing your hips forward. Start leaning backwards. Add a little bit of a twist. Reach towards your heel. Lift your right arm up. And let's begin. 5 breaths now. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. 1. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. 2. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 3. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 4. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 5. Then reach the arm forward, well, up first, forward, follow the arm with your gaze, and step down with the left foot, and relax. Good, 10 seconds, and then we'll go again. Right, it's going well. Enjoying it? I hope so. Good, so now, left foot back on. Okay, it's wonderful. Once again, start pushing your hips forward, then start leaning back, then start twisting a little bit, reach down towards the heel, lift the left arm up, and stretch it back. 5 breaths now. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 1. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 2. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 3. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 4. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 5. Then reach forward and come back. Step down. Good. Right, so as I mentioned before, when the block is in front of you, the pose is a bit more challenging. Now, the block is going to be behind us, therefore the back bend is going to be a little bit less challenging. Why? Because the knee is going to be elevated. So, let's start. Let's leave this one here. I'm going to turn around again. Okay, this time, this block here goes under my left knee. Okay, like so. So block under my left knee, right? Left foot tucked under. Then I'm going to step forward, like so. Step forward with the right foot. Make sure the right foot and the right knee is parallel to the left side. Good. Push forward with the hips. Lean backwards. Reach down towards your ankle. Stretch your right arm up. 5 breaths in. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply, 1. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply, 2. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 3. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 4. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 5. Now reach up with the arm, reach forward, follow your arm with your gaze, and come back. Ooh. Okay, and step down. Right. So this is easier because your knee is higher, therefore when you arch back, you don't have to travel so far down. That's the idea. Let's do the other side. This time, the block goes under your right knee, like so. Tuck the toes of your right foot under, step your left foot forward. Now check, left side of your body and the right side of your body needs to be hip width apart. No narrower than that. Okay, now, then start pushing your hips forward, start arching back, start twisting at the same time, reaching up with the left arm, and back, 5 breaths. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 1. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 2. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 3. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 4. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, 5. Gradually reach the arm up, then forward, follow the arm with your gaze, lower the arm, and step back and down. Lovely, well done. Okay, 3 poses done, 2 to go. So, next one. Next one, we're going to go into camel pose, which is also a back bend. Okay, so we'll start with the easier version. This time we're going to do, obviously, both sides at the same time. So the blocks are forward of you, okay? Your knees are going to be placed on the blocks, like so. Okay? And you're going to touch your toes under, like so. Alright, now you're going to kneel up. So you want your knees, your hips, right on top of your knees. Okay? And then gradually, one side at a time, you're going to be squeezing your bum, contracting your back, engaging your core, and twisting at the same time to reach back towards your heel. And then you're going to reach back towards the other side. And then from here, you're going to thrust your hips forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and arch back, widening the chest, tilting the head back. 5 breaths. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply. 1. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply. 2. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply. 3. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply. 4. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply. 5. Gradually lower your hips back down onto your heels. Woo! Very challenging, very challenging. I am pretty sure that by now you're starting to feel your back really fired up and really getting stronger. Totally activated. You have no choice. Good. All right. So now let's do a second set. So I found that the blocks were slightly too narrow, so I'm going to be widening the blocks a tiny little bit. Should fix it. Okay, so now knees back up. Okay, touch your toes under. Alright, maybe this time to get down, then do it from the other side. So lean backwards, twist, lower the hands down towards your heels and push your hips forward. 5 breaths in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And slowly lower your hips down onto your heels and lower your knees down. Lovely. Okay, so let's do the back now. The blocks go behind you. Okay. Then your feet go on top of the block, toes tucked under. Okay, like so. Good. So at the front it was pretty challenging. Yeah. There was a very deep back bend going on there. I really felt it, and I'm sure you felt it too. Here, because your feet are elevated, right? Again, the journey downwards is shorter. Therefore, it should be slightly easier. Let's find out, shall we? Okay, so hips up. Okay, now push your hips. So just open your knees a little bit wider. Yeah, and then just push your hips forward, twist, and reach back towards your heel. You see my hand is already there. Do the same on the other side. And then now thrust your hips forward a little bit more. Adjust if need be. 5 breaths here. 1. Each time push your hips further forward. 2. 3. 4. Squeeze your bum to support your hips. 5. And lower down. Ooh, that was really nice. So nice. In a moment we'll do it again. Okay, so let's just take a short breather. Good, and let's get ready. Let's prepare to do it again. Okay, so hips up. Squeeze your bum. Arch your back and engage your core. Start thrusting your hips forward and twist at the same time and reach down towards your right heel. Then reach down towards your left heel and arch a bit more. Squeeze your shoulder blades, tilt your head back, that feels okay. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and lower down. Good. Excellent. You know, going into a pose is very important and needs to take the time that it needs to get there, but equally, to come out of the pose, it needs to be done very gently and very carefully. So never rush to get into it or to come out of it. Okay? Cool. All right. And now we're going to finish off with the wheel. So, let's do the easier version first. You may want to watch first and then join me. Okay. So, you're going to place your blocks towards the back, yeah? Okay, maybe an inch away from the edge of the mat, on either side. Okay, good. Then you're going to sit in front of it, and you're going to slide your bum down towards the front of the mat, and you're going to lie down. Then, what you're going to do is, we want to end up having the hands nice and flat on the blocks, okay? To do that, we're going to have to gently press the crown of your head on the mat in between the two blocks, okay? Before we do that, make sure your feet are firmly planted on the mat, okay? All right, so let's go. So, crown of the head in between, hands flat, and I push, and feet traveling forward. Please feel free to join me, and we'll do 5 breaths starting now. Inhaling deeply, exhaling deeply. 1. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Slowly, gently coming back down. Very challenging, but so good at the same time. Okay, sit up. We're nearly there. So obviously, the last pose is very challenging, so we just do 5 breaths, okay? Because we've done a lot of good work today. So, last pose and last 5 breaths, okay? So now we place the blocks at the front of the mat, okay? Like so. Okay, good. Now, it's very emotional. I feel lighter. I feel totally exposed, full of energy, but totally exposed because my emotions are getting out of my body, because these poses are they're very freeing, yeah? Because it allows your heart chakra to open up, yeah? Okay, cool. So now, this one here should be slightly more challenging, and you will need to work a little bit harder to push your hips higher. Why? Because your feet are elevated, right? So, and that makes it more challenging. You'll soon find out what I mean. Okay, cool. So now, for now, just slide your bum as close to the blocks as possible, like me here, yeah? Then, lie onto your back. And as you do that, you still want to lower your bum a bit more down, yeah? Okay. Now make sure your feet are slightly turned inwards, yeah? Make sure the 4 corners of your feet are pressing firmly on the blocks, very important. Place your hands, right, on the other side of your ears, okay? Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, lift up. Readjust if need be. 5 breaths starting now. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. And then slowly, gently release back down. Okay, you deserve a back stretch, so bring your knees into your chest. Ah, oh, feels amazing. Knees into your chest. Take 5 breaths here. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. 1. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. 2. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. 3. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. 4. Last one. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. 5. Okay, drop your knees to the right. Gentle twist. 5 breaths. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Bring your knees back. And lower the knees the other way. Such a great workout for the back and the upper body. And also great for your posture, right? Remember, if you have a strong back, then you'll be sitting and standing taller and stronger. 5 breaths now. Inhale. Exhale. 1. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Inhale. Exhale. 4. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. 5. Bring your knees back in. Hug your knees nice and tight. One more time for 5 breaths. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. 1. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Inhale. Exhale. 4. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. 5. Good. All right. Sit up for me. Cross your legs. Hands in prayer position. Just a couple of breaths here. Just to relax. Alright, hopefully you're feeling amazing. Thank you very much.